Wow. Okay, so you've sent over a whole stack of articles on women making waves in fintech. This is going to be good.
It seems you're ready to dive deep into this world.
Yeah, I have to say, after going through it all, I'm totally fascinated. This is about way more than just numbers and balance sheets.
Absolutely.
So before we jump in, for anyone who might be new to this whole fintech thing, what exactly are we talking about here?
Well, in a nutshell, fintech is all about how technology is transforming the way we handle money, the way we handle financial services.
Okay, so like what? Give me some examples.
Think about the mobile payment apps that you use every day, online lenders.
Oh, yeah.
Even the complex world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, that all falls under this umbrella of fintech.
So anytime my phone becomes my own personal bank, that's fintech in action.
Exactly. And the exciting thing is it's not just about making things more convenient for the user.
Right.
It's about creating these entirely new possibilities.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We're talking financial inclusion for underserved communities. You've got personalized investment strategies, even entirely new forms of currency.
Okay, so we've got this rapidly growing field full of potential to disrupt the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're adding more women to the mix.
Exactly.
That's got to be a total game changer.
Absolutely. And it's not just about fairness or representation, although those are really important factors.
Right.
What's truly fascinating is the unique value proposition that women bring to the table, especially in a field like fintech.
Okay, so what are some of the ways that women are changing the game here?
Well, take Sally Krawcheck, for example.
Yeah.
She's not just advocating for women's financial empowerment,
Right.
She's backing it up with action.
I like it.
She founded Ellevest, a digital investment platform specifically designed to help women reach their financial goals.
Wow.
And they've already got billions of dollars in assets under management.
That's huge.
That's the kind of impact we're talking about.
So she's not just breaking down barriers, she's building a whole new system.
Exactly. And she's not alone.
Right.
Reshma Saujani, with Girls Who Code, is tackling the gender gap in tech from the ground up.
I love that.
Empowering a new generation of girls to become not just consumers of technology, but creators.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Are there any examples of women who have used their understanding of, other women, their needs, their experiences to create successful fintech companies?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
One great example is Jenny Fleiss,
Okay.
the co-founder of Glossier.
Glossier, yeah.
She recognized that traditional beauty brands weren't speaking to women the way they wanted to be spoken to.
Interesting.
So she created a brand that did,
Sorry.
and it became a massive success.
Glossier is huge.
Exactly.
It just goes to show that sometimes the best solutions come from people who have experienced the problem firsthand.
Right. And speaking of understanding the needs of a specific demographic,
Okay.
let's talk about Brittany Berger and Cleo. She saw how intimidating and often inaccessible personal finance can be, especially for younger generations.
Right.
And so she created a platform that makes it fun, engaging, and frankly, less scary.
Making personal finance fun, that's brilliant. It sounds like women aren't just breaking into fintech.
Mm-hmm.
They're changing the very DNA of the industry.
They're bringing their own lived experiences, their empathy, their unique perspectives to the table.
Right.
And that's leading to some incredible innovation.
So it's not just about having a seat at the table. It's about, changing the menu. Right.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole wave of women in fintech so incredibly exciting.
So we've seen how women are already making a real difference.
Mm-hmm.
It can't all be sunshine and roses, though, right? Mm-hmm. What are some of the challenges that they face?
Well, unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Despite all this incredible progress, women in fintech still face very real barriers.
Like what?
And some of them are really deeply ingrained in the culture of the industry.
Okay, so give me the hard truths.
Unconscious bias in hiring and promotions is a big one.
Yeah. What does that look like, though?
Even with the best intentions, there's often this, subtle, sometimes unconscious preference for men in these positions of leadership.
So it's not always overt discrimination. It's more like, microaggressions.
Exactly.
Yeah, those little things that add up over time.
Exactly. Things like having your technical expertise questioned more often than your male colleagues.
Right.
Or having your ideas talked over or dismissed in meetings.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
You don't even realize it's happening until you step back and look at the bigger picture.
Exactly. And that's unfortunately something that many women in fintech and in other male-dominated fields experience on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's just messed up.
Yeah.
So unconscious bias. What else? What else is going on here?
Another major challenge is the ever-present struggle for work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
The fintech world is incredibly fast-paced and demanding.
Oh.
It often requires, really long hours, constant availability.
Which, let's be real, can be tough for anyone, but it often disproportionately affects women, especially those with families.
Exactly. And this is often where we see talented women hitting a ceiling.
Right.
Not because they lack the skills or the ambition, but because the system just isn't set up to support their needs.
So how do we fix this?
Yeah.
Because, it's 2024. We all know diversity is important. But what's the business case for making fintech more inclusive? Like, why should companies care about this beyond just doing the right thing?
Well, the good news is diversity isn't just ethically sound.
Right.
It's also really good for business.
Okay, so let's talk numbers.
Yeah.
What's the bottom line here?
When you have diverse teams with diverse perspectives and experiences, you get more innovative products and services that cater to a wider range of customers.
Right.
It's really that simple. If you're only serving a narrow slice of the population, you're missing out on a whole lot of potential customers and a whole lot of potential revenue.
You're leaving money on the table.
Exactly. And in today's world, where consumers are more aware than ever of the values of the companies they support,
Yeah.
diversity and inclusion are not just a nice to have, they're a must have.
They're the price of entry.
Exactly.
So how do we make the fintech world more welcoming and supportive for women? What are some of the solutions? What are some of the support systems that are out there?
Well, one of the most powerful tools we have is mentorship.
Okay.
There's something truly invaluable about connecting aspiring women in fintech with experienced leaders who can offer guidance, support, and really, help open doors that might otherwise remain closed.
It's like having a guide in an unfamiliar territory.
Exactly. And it's not just about that one-on-one mentorship either.
Okay.
We're seeing this huge surge in networking opportunities specifically designed for women in fintech, creating spaces where they can connect, share experiences, build relationships that can last a lifetime.
It's about building a community in a field that can feel very, isolating.
Absolutely. And these communities aren't just for moral support.
Right.
They're often these powerful engines for career advancement.
Interesting.
They can provide access to job opportunities, funding sources, and invaluable industry insights.
It's like having a secret weapon.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, how is the education landscape evolving to support women who want to break into fintech?
Yeah.
Because not everyone has a financial background.
You're absolutely right. And that's why it's so encouraging to see universities offering more and more specialized programs in fintech, equipping women with the specific skills and knowledge they need to thrive.
That's great for someone just starting out, but what about people who are already working? Maybe looking to, switch careers or level up their skills.
Right. And that's where online courses and certifications come in.
Okay.
They're much more accessible. They're more flexible.
Right.
And they allow women to learn at their own pace and tailor their education to their specific career goals.
Like having a whole university at your fingertips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about the present, but what does the future hold for women in fintech? Like, where is this wave heading?
The exciting thing is the future is being written right now.
Ooh, I like that.
Technological advancements are creating this whole wave of new opportunities.
Oh, for sure.
But those opportunities require adaptability and a willingness to embrace new skills.
Absolutely.
We're talking AI, machine learning, blockchain.
Yeah, those are changing the game.
Exactly. It's not enough to just keep up. You have to be ahead of the curve.
What are your thoughts about that? What do you see happening?
Well, one of the most exciting trends is the growing interest from investors in women-led ventures.
Oh, interesting.
There's this growing understanding that diversity drives innovation.
Right.
And ultimately profits.
Yeah.
And that's attracting serious capital to companies founded or led by women.
That's fantastic.
So it's not just about, doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's about smart investing.
Absolutely.
And it's creating this really positive feedback loop
That's awesome.
where more investment is leading to more successful women-led companies, which in turn attracts even more investment.
I love that. Do you have any examples of companies that are doing particularly innovative things in the fintech space?
Yeah, let me tell you about Bint.
Okay.
Bint is a company that's creating financial products specifically for underserved populations,
Oh, wow.
groups that traditional financial institutions have often overlooked.
Okay.
They're addressing a real need in the market,
I love that.
and they're demonstrating the power of inclusive finance.
It speaks to what we were saying earlier about how women are creating solutions based on real needs, right? Filling the gaps that others haven't even noticed.
Exactly.
Okay, before we wrap things up, I think we need to address the kind of elephant in the room, or maybe you should say the man in the room, because this isn't just a conversation for women, right? This is a conversation for everyone, especially men in positions of leadership.
Absolutely.
Because real change requires everyone to be on board. It's not enough to just not be part of the problem. You have to be part of the solution.
Precisely. We need men to be actively mentoring and championing women in fintech to call out bias when they see it.
Yes.
And to really advocate for equitable policies within their organizations.
It's about being an advocate, not just a bystander.
Exactly.
And it goes beyond just those individual actions.
Yeah.
We need to look at the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
Including the role of government policies in promoting gender equality in the industry.
Exactly. We need policies that promote gender equality in education, in the workplace, and in access to capital.
Absolutely.
It's about creating a system that works for everyone.
Right. Not just a select few.
Exactly. And the good news is
Yeah.
we're seeing some progress in this area,
That's good.
but we still have a long way to go.
Well, I'm optimistic because if there's the one thing that I've learned from all of this, it's that women are not afraid to roll up their sleeves and build the future that they want to see.
And they're doing it.
They're out there doing it.
With incredible ingenuity and resilience, and a deep commitment to creating a more just and equitable world.
Okay, before we wrap things up, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice to our listener,
Yeah.
the person who's been really digging into all this research on women in fintech, what would it be?
That's a great question.
What's the one thing you really want them to take away from this deep dive?
I would say this. Don't underestimate the power of your own voice and your own actions.
Love that.
Whether you're a woman looking to break into fintech, a man who wants to be a better ally, or anyone who believes in a more just and equitable world,
Right.
you have a role to play.
Absolutely.
Get involved, speak up, and don't be afraid to challenge the status quo.
Yes. Change doesn't happen by accident. It happens when people like you and me decide to make it happen.
Exactly.
I love that. Speaking of making a difference, we've touched on how social media can be such a powerful tool for women in fintech. Can you expand on that a bit?
Absolutely. Think about it. Platforms like Twitter and LinkedIn have become these incredible, virtual hubs for women in fintech to connect,
Right.
share their experiences, find mentors, and amplify each other's voices.
Oh, yeah.
It's like having a global networking event happening 24/7 right in your pocket.
So it's not just about posting, selfies and vacation photos.
Exactly.
It's about building a community, creating opportunities.
Exactly. Women are using these platforms to challenge the status quo,
Right.
call out bias, share job opportunities, and celebrate each other's successes.
Yeah.
It's really empowering.
It sounds like social media is leveling the playing field in a way that traditional networking never could.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the best part is it's accessible to anyone with an internet connection,
Right.
You don't need to be in Silicon Valley or New York City to tap into this incredible network of support and inspiration.
That's amazing. So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to learn more or to get involved in the world of women in fintech, where should they start?
Oh, there are so many fantastic resources out there.
Give us one to get started.
One organization I always recommend is Women in Fintech, or WI for short.
Catchy?
They offer mentorship programs, networking events, and a wealth of resources for women at all stages of their fintech journey.
Love it. What about for our listeners who are maybe students or early career professionals?
Yeah.
Anything specifically for them?
Absolutely. Check out Girls Who Code, Code First Girls, or Black Girls Code.
Awesome.
These organizations are doing incredible work to introduce young women to the world of tech and finance,
Yeah.
providing them with the skills and confidence they need to succeed.
This has been incredible. I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
But more importantly, I feel really inspired,
Yeah.
Inspired by the women who are out there breaking down barriers and building a more inclusive and innovative future for all of us.
Me too. And it's important to remember this is just the beginning.
Right?
This wave of women in fintech is only getting stronger.
Yeah.
And I, for one, cannot wait to see what they accomplish next.
Me neither. And for you listening, keep learning, keep questioning, keep pushing for progress because the future of finance is inclusive and it's waiting for you to help shape it.
Well said.
That's it. For this deep dive into the world of women in fintech, we hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did.
Until next time.
It's like they're not just, pulling up a chair, they're building a whole new table, setting it with their own rules, and then inviting everyone else to join.
Exactly. And that's what's so powerful about this moment in fintech.
Yeah.
It's not just about inclusion. It's about disruption. It's about innovation. It's about a fundamental reimagining of how finance can work for everyone.
Okay, so we've talked about the challenges, the opportunities, the incredible women leading the charge. But I'm curious, what are some specific, actionable things that men in fintech, or any industry for that matter, can do to be better allies? Because it's not enough to just say you support diversity.
Oh, absolutely not.
You got to walk the walk.
We have to walk the walk.
So how do we do that?
One of the most impactful things that men can do is to actively mentor and sponsor women in their organizations.
Yeah, okay, and I want to be clear here. We're not just talking about being nice or offering vague words of encouragement.
Right.
This is about actively advocating for women's advancement, recommending them for promotions,
Yes.
and making sure that their voices are heard in meetings.
Absolutely. It's about using your privilege and using your platform to amplify the voices and contributions of women.
Yeah, because sometimes those voices get drowned out, even when they have the best ideas in the room.
Right. Exactly.
So it's not just about mentorship either. Men can also play a crucial role in creating a more inclusive workplace culture by calling out bias when they see it.
Absolutely.
Whether it's, a sexist joke, a dismissive comment,
Yeah.
or, an unfair hiring practice.
It's about, if you see something, say something.
Silence is complicity.
Exactly. Exactly. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued.
Yeah. And that benefits everyone, not just women.
Absolutely. A more inclusive workplace is a more productive workplace, it's a more innovative workplace, and it's a more fulfilling workplace for everyone.
So men, if you're listening, step up.
Yeah.
Be an ally, be an advocate, be a part of the solution.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, now let's talk about the role of government and policy here.
Yeah.
Because while those individual actions are important,
Yeah.
we also need kind of systemic change to create a truly level playing field,
Absolutely.
right? It's like that old saying, you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created it.
Exactly. We need policies that promote gender equality
Yes.
in education,
Yes.
in the workplace,
Uh-huh.
and in access to capital.
Affordable childcare, for example, would be huge for so many women
Oh, absolutely.
who are trying to balance work and family.
Absolutely. And paid family leave.
Right.
Equal pay for equal work.
Yes.
Policies that support women entrepreneurs. These are all crucial pieces of the puzzle.
It's about creating a system that works for everyone, not just a select few.
Exactly. And the good news is we are seeing some progress in this area,
Yeah, that's good.
but there's still a long way to go.
I'm optimistic, though,
Yeah.
because if there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's that women are not afraid to roll up their sleeves and build the future that they want to see.
They are out there doing the work, and they're doing it with
Yeah.
incredible ingenuity, resilience, and a deep commitment to creating a more just and equitable world for all of us.
Okay, before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I have one last question for you.
Okay, shoot.
If you could give one piece of advice to our listener,
Yeah.
the person who's really been digging into this, all this research on women in fintech, what would it be?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I would say this. Don't underestimate the power of your own voice and your own actions.
I love that.
Whether you're a woman looking to break into fintech,
Right.
or a man who wants to be a better ally, or anyone who believes in a more just and equitable world.
You have a role to play.
You do.
Get involved, speak up, and don't be afraid to challenge the status quo.
It's about creating a space where everyone feels seen and heard. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what makes me so optimistic about the future of all of this. It's not about waiting for permission or waiting for someone else to fix it.
Right.
Women are taking charge. They're building the future they want to see and inspiring others to do the same.
So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to maybe learn more or get involved in the world of women in fintech, where should they start?
Oh, there are so many fantastic resources out there.
Give us one to get started.
One organization I always recommend is Women in Fintech,
Okay.
or WIF for short.
Kitschy.
They offer mentorship programs, networking events, a wealth of resources for women at all stages of their fintech journeys.
Love that. What about for our listeners who are maybe students or early career professionals? Anything specifically for them?
Absolutely. Check out Girls Who Code.
Code First Girls or Black Girls Code.
Awesome.
These organizations are doing incredible work to introduce young women to the world of tech and finance, providing them with the skills and the confidence they need to succeed.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has been.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too, me too.
But more importantly, I feel really inspired by the women who are out there breaking down barriers and building a more inclusive and innovative future for all of us.
Me too. And, it's important to remember, this is just the beginning.
It is.
This wave of women in fintech is only getting stronger.
Absolutely.
And I, for one, cannot wait to see what they accomplish next.
Me neither. And for you listening, keep learning, keep questioning, keep pushing for progress, because the future of finance is inclusive, and it's waiting for you to help shape it.
Well said.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of women in fintech. We hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did.
Until next time.